The Damn Railroads is the person behind the YouTube channel, The Explorer Returns. This content creator has built a following around documenting extended wilderness watch sessions, suspected unusual activity reports, overnight figure sightings, and visits to remote public spaces where patterns only begin to surface after long periods of monitoring. On March 20th, 2026, this seasoned explorer headed out to look into online accounts of a footpath where people had reportedly been gathering after dark, behaving in ways that nobody could quite explain. Prior testimonies had described a solitary figure appearing and vanishing with no discernible pattern, which had only deepened the unease surrounding the location. Upon arriving, the site lined up with everything previously described, so they moved to establish a hidden observation point nearby, despite the challenging terrain and minimal natural cover. Once settled in,
this is where they hang around, just around there, where the lights are. How long's it going to be before they come out? Ross, do you reckon when they start coming out, they're going to notice you? Or us?
Your ring light's quite bright. Like any light that hits it, it does shine quite a lot.
This is it's not going to be long before they start coming down there. Well, I mean, in the video, they've been on the field before, so they could even be coming from behind. Should we get in the tent?
Yeah.
Shoes off.
Weirdness. Shoes off?
Shoes off.
Okay.
There is something in the tree. Guys, come out the tent a sec and look at this, what I'm seeing. He's over there and he's like creeping around out there.
Whereabouts?
Down there.
the explorer got into position with a clear sightline directly over the footpath. It didn't take long before a figure materialized near the tree line, partially hidden and moving in a way that immediately caught attention, not because of speed or aggression, but because of an unsettling stillness and a total absence of clear purpose. Rather than simply passing through, this individual kept stopping, turning, and scanning the area as though hunting for something specific. It quickly became apparent this was no ordinary passerby, but just as they began shifting position inside the tent to get a better angle, something happened that pushed the whole situation into a much darker kind of uncertainty.
Oh, his back's to us at the moment. He was proper looking and then like creeping. There's another one, another person.
That's two people.
There's two people. They're not talking to each other, so they're not close. I think it's just a regular guy walking past. I just heard something that way. Do you smoke it? Yeah, there's two of them. I don't know, because he's in the... He's coming back.
He's smoking. Do you reckon that's the one?
No, that's not the one.
It is not.
The one we're looking for has got a blue hoodie, wears a belly, and he normally comes down to hang at this lamppost right
This
here.
guy's something weird.
No, he's stopping. What's he doing? He's looking for something. He can't see us.
A second figure showed up further along the path, raising the possibility of either deliberate coordination or a shared habitual use of the same stretch of ground. Neither individual acknowledged the other directly, yet both moved through overlapping zones in a way that reinforced the sense that this was anything but casual foot traffic. After several minutes, both gradually faded back toward the darker edges of the terrain, vanishing without any obvious exit route. That sudden disappearance felt just as strange as the appearance itself. No further movement followed for a period, leaving the group unsure whether the activity had truly stopped or had simply moved beyond their line of sight. Time passed.
Adam is saying the guys are up there. Oh shit, okay. Why have they not come down here then? Is he actually saying that? Adam's just... I don't know. Should we?
I don't know.
Thing is, once we walk past him, we have to come back again.
Yeah.
And all our stuff's here. He'll start to get sus. Oh yeah, there he is. He's right there. Oh, fuck off. He's right there. He's right there. Yeah, that is definitely him.
He must be staring out at him.
Yeah, he must be. Yeah. He's coming this way. Get behind.
Held their position, and then the situation escalated once more as multiple figures reappeared within the observation zone, this time moving closer together and with more deliberate, defined patterns of movement. The way they positioned themselves suggested a real awareness of the surrounding space, with brief pauses and sudden directional shifts that hinted at either searching or watching behavior. At this point, a deeply uncomfortable question started forming. Were they observing these individuals, or had those individuals quietly become aware of them? It was the kind of uncertainty that made nobody want to move. Eventually, the situation reached a tipping point, where staying hidden no longer felt like a realistic option. With multiple unidentified people converging on the same confined stretch of space, the odds of going undetected were shrinking fast.
He's gone. That's it. The question is, how long till he comes back? Back up the tent. We've decided we're not going to go back in there. Just going to pack everything up. Thank you guys for staying a bit later. You just never know if there's anyone around behind you. That didn't work out very well, did it? Ross is definitely the most brainiest one here.
Yeah, leave him to it.
Yeah, leave.
He did it done in 2 minutes.
No, it doesn't. Oh, maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh, we picked him up and now.
We're in the middle of the nowhere, in the middle of the night, watching Ross pack away a fucking pop-up tent.
I'm not hungry.
Nah.
You know what you're doing, Ross?
Of course. Have you never put a tent away in the middle of the night?
No. Not a pop-up one.
I can't believe you guys lasted this long. I thought you guys were going at like 10.
The group made the call to withdraw without any confrontation, pulling back while things were still unresolved. Even as they packed up and began moving away along the footpath, the tension didn't lift. They kept stopping, kept looking back, kept checking the spaces between the trees. With no clear resolution behind them, it was impossible to say whether the area had gone quiet or whether they were simply no longer close enough to see what was still happening. And then something along the way made that question feel a whole lot more urgent.
Oh, Ross. He's there. You know, you can see through the fucking tree now. Oh, yeah. He's fucking there again.
Why?
He's there again.
Oh, get that camera.
No. He's right there.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh,
You reckon walk past?
yeah, it's all past.
What, we're going to just walk all the way past?
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. 1 a.m. And he's here. Well, I don't think it's quite 1 a.m. yet. I think it's like 12:50.
Very quick.
Did he look at you?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. See, this is what I mean. Just send it to Adam.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably view that in the morning and be like, what the fuck? He's cozy in bed right now while we're just walking down this footpath again. I just can't. I just don't get. I haven't seen the other one that came out on the live stream yesterday. Oh, maybe that was. No, that wasn't. The one we saw earlier that was hanging around down here, earlier on the video, that was another one. He was smaller than the one in the live stream yesterday. I am surprised he's not said anything to our chat. Because he's seen me down here quite a few times.
Do you reckon it's worth walking around the long way around and waiting at the other end of that footpath, see if it comes through?
We can do that if you want.
Because we never see him walk all the way down here.
No, he never comes down
And
here.
he never comes up by your car.
No. It's a person. Oh. Let's find out, shall we?
Pop it out.
People that hang around down here are just so freaky. Yeah.
Should like look back now, you can't see.
Just shut up. Yeah. Everyone's just asleep. We're just out here looking.
Already some distance from where they'd started, they began catching movement again further down the path, figures briefly cutting between the trees before disappearing once more. What made it genuinely unsettling was how closely it mirrored what they had witnessed earlier, as though the same people were looping back through the area rather than clearing out. Even after changing direction and deliberately trying to put more distance between themselves and the activity, the sightings kept coming at irregular intervals along the route, suggesting that whatever was happening wasn't contained to a single spot, but was spread across multiple points throughout the area. Eventually, the group had no choice but to abandon the location entirely. What makes this encounter so difficult to shake isn't just what the group witnessed firsthand, but how precisely the experience matched everything they'd already read about the place. The online reports, the repeated claims of late-night gatherings, the eerie stillness, the way figures were said to materialize and vanish without explanation. All of it had seemed like exaggeration, until the group started seeing patterns that aligned almost exactly with those prior descriptions. But the question that lingers is both simple and deeply uncomfortable. Why would people be standing in the dark along the same stretch of path night after night with no apparent destination? Could it have been nothing more than late-night walkers, people seeking solitude, ordinary behavior filtered through the lens of suspicion? Or was there a real possibility that this location was being used for something far less visible, something structured enough to pass as random, yet deliberate enough to repeat in cycles that could never quite be fully mapped? If it was all harmless, why did none of it ever resemble normal movement when someone was actually there watching? By the time they got out, there was nothing concrete to hold on to, only fragments of behavior that never assembled themselves into anything definitive. And that is what follows them long after the footpath is behind them. Not a conclusion, not an answer, but the slow realization that everything they saw could be read two entirely different ways simultaneously, either as unremarkable human behavior witnessed at the wrong hour, or as something far more calculated that was simply never going to let itself be fully understood. Because in places like this, the most unsettling thing isn't what eventually reveals itself. It's what remains consistent enough to feel real, yet controlled enough to never confirm what it actually is, leaving open the possibility that being understood was never part of the design at all. Deep in the heart of Madrid, an urban explorer known as 2Swag set out to investigate a colossal 550,000 square foot derelict hospital that had once served as the backbone of Spain's entire medical system. What he didn't realize was that this place had a few surprises waiting for him. He'd been given the impression that the internal cameras were non-functional, though he did notice a security guard posted near the entrance. He found his way in through what looked like an old pool area, complete with a pulley system still hanging overhead. He pushed on. The sheer scale of the building was suffocating, and tackling somewhere like this on his own made every step feel heavier than the last. Then came his first major blunder. While moving toward what he believed was the main entrance area, he nearly stumbled directly into the security monitoring zone.
The front? Oh, no. There's a security camera right there. I might have just f***ed up. I'm not gonna go that way. We're gonna go up to some of the other floors and then make our way over. We're not going by the first floor front entrance. This place is so big. By the way, you guys, opening any door here is a real gamble. There might be an alarm or camera or something just waiting for you on the other side. Maybe even a security guard. You don't know. This looks like it was just a patient room. I think all of these were just patient rooms. I'm gonna keep walking until I find something cool. I flew all the way across Europe for this. I am not missing this on the last day. This is the 4th floor. There's supposedly a really good surgery room up here.
Things got worse fast. While attempting to force his way through one of the blocked-off doors, it swung shut and locked him out of his only exit. He threw himself against it, trying to get it back open, but something was resisting from the opposite side. The realization hit him like a wall. Somebody was right there, pushing back.
We gotta go. This looks open. No, this can't be a dead end. No. They're coming down. I don't understand. Why didn't she chase me down the hallway? Why is it whenever I go near?
He had no time to think. Glancing out through one of the nearby windows, he could make out the guard post sitting just outside, the small security booth clearly visible through the gap.
That's their stand right there. We have security. No, they're going back in. What are they saying? There's 3. No, don't go back. Yes, at the top. Yes, at the top. We got to leave now. It's so stupid.
He slipped out, calling a casual greeting into the air as he went, feeling equal parts relieved and proud of himself. But when he sat down to review his footage and cross-reference it with clips other explorers had posted from the same location, the truth hit him hard. The one room he had crossed an entire continent to find, the fully intact operating theater, original surgical instruments still laid out exactly as they'd been left, had been just a few feet away from him the whole time. He practically had his hand on the wall that separated them, and he walked away without ever knowing it. While drilling near Udachny in Siberia, a team of miners came across something that stopped them cold. Deep beneath layers of ancient diamond-bearing soil, they pulled out a mummified animal with a rodent-like skull, unusual limbs, and elongated hind legs that matched no known species. What left researchers stunned wasn't only the creature's bizarre anatomy, but the extraordinary state it was in. Thought to originate from the Mesozoic era, this thing may have been locked in Siberia's permafrost for millions of years. It's currently being kept in Yakutsk for scientific examination, holding answers that experts are still waiting to uncover. A man going by Anton, who ran a TikTok account called Anton Raka, uploaded footage documenting a terrifying encounter he had out in the woods. His page was typically filled with content around hiking, fishing, and overnight trips into nature. On October 15th, 2024, he made his way into a stretch of forest he was familiar with, somewhere he'd been to plenty of times, but on this particular trip, everything went sideways. Shortly after pitching his tent and getting his campsite ready for the evening, an aggressive woman came charging toward him out of nowhere.
Leave me alone, please, okay?
Oh, I'll leave you with my husband. He's right over here. Maybe he's gonna get that message through your thick head.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
okay, I'm just gonna go and get him. He's gonna kick you out of here in
go out.
seconds.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, and he just got out of jail. Ooh, he's gonna enjoy taking a piece of like you.
She insisted that the entire forest was private property belonging to her and her husband, and that he had no right to be there. Anton knew this was nonsense and pushed back, but she escalated quickly, warning him that her crazy husband would come sort him out. He decided to brush off the threats and kept the camera rolling, pressing on with setting up camp, but the situation didn't stay calm for long. When he circled back to his tent after collecting firewood, what he found stopped him cold. The woman's husband was standing right beside his tent, dousing it in gasoline. Understanding just how fast things could go very wrong, Anton abandoned everything and bolted toward his car.
I wanted to leave and I picked up a few things and started walking towards my car.
But reaching it brought no relief. The windows had been smashed in and every tire had been slashed. The footage ends suddenly. In those final seconds, Anton is visibly panicking, desperately trying to put distance between himself and the man. Once the video went up, viewers flooded the comments with debate. Some were convinced the whole thing was a staged stunt, while others felt it was a genuine and life-threatening situation. What makes it all so unsettling is that Anton has never posted a single thing since. Exploring with Josh. Bear got dropped off solo, deep inside the land between the lakes in Kentucky. No cell signal, no way out for hours. The LBL carries a dark reputation built around two things: a dogman creature said to have massacred an entire family on a logging road, and a vampire cult from 1996 that conducted animal sacrifices throughout these very woods. Bear headed in by himself as the sun went down.
I'm about to take you back to a vampire hotel. Now, back in 96, there was a vampire cult that was running around here. They would actually cut each other and drink each other's blood. They did animal sacrifices back in this area here. And the place I'm about to take you is super duper scary. Now, I've never been here. I've never walked this trail yet. You and I are about to see it for the first time, but I've seen pictures of it. And I've heard the stories of this area. And I'll tell you a little more about that as we get deeper down here. Now, I believe the place I'm looking for is down this trail. The spray paint is giving it away somewhat. Let's see if we can't get back there. Find us a vampire hotel where a vampire cult used to do their thing at. And Dogman, my boy, running around the woods as well. So anyway, without further ado, smash that like, hit that subscribe, join the family, and let's get it. Whew. Okay. Like I said, as you see, I am totally alone here. Which, believe it or not, has my blood pressure raised already. Like, I'm already scared about this one. Stinking vampires, man. Vampires. They were drinking blood. This is so...
The whole thing started with a 16-year-old who became convinced he was actually a vampire. He pulled others in. The group expanded. It eventually made national headlines. The ringleader and one of his followers drove all the way down to Florida and killed the parents of a fellow member. But that was just 2 of them. What the remaining members were doing out here in these woods, nobody has ever figured that out.
Oh my goodness, look at this place. Okay. That's pretty terrifying. What is this in the tree? There's something in the tree here. Oh my goodness. Sacrifices have been done right over here. That's somebody's like ear warmers. There's a branch move back there. Whew. Oh my goodness, look at this.
He came across the structure, the so-called vampire hotel. Graffiti covered the walls. Something was suspended from a tree. On the ground, there were signs of what looked like sacrificial activity. Then came voices. Twice, not a single person visible in any direction.
That was 3 vocals that just came from over there. That last one, it almost sounded like help, but I'm not positive. But it was like someone screamed, yelled something 3 times, the same thing. Oh, that's freaking creepy, man. That's so creepy. Man, the sun's just about set, too. I'm like nervous every time I turn it. I got a weird feeling right now. Or is that K2 meter? I got a really weird feeling right now.
3 distinct sounds rose up from somewhere in the darkness. The same noise 3 times in a row. It almost sounded exactly like someone calling for help. Every hair on his body stood straight up.
Oh, that was a shadow. That was a scream. That one. Oh, no light, no. Shh. No. Dang it. No. How do I get out of here? How do I get here? No freaking way, man. Oh, frick. Man, cults? Dogman? Can Dogman scream? Was that a person? Was that a person screaming? Or was that a freaking cryptid, man? I don't even care. I don't care. I just want to be out of here now. Man, I don't even know if I can get a hold of Tiff right now, where there's no service. And I have no idea when they're going to be back. They were supposed to go try to find a place for them to stay tonight. Whew. No way. Oh. That sounded like something big walking behind me.
Lights off, completely motionless. A shriek tore through the trees. Bear's flashlight cut out at that exact moment. He couldn't locate the way out. Footsteps began moving through the leaves directly behind him. Something large drawing closer and closer. He got his ride on the phone and never switched the camera back on.
Oh, now you're doing no.
You guys come back here.
A grandmother had taken her grandkids out for a peaceful afternoon among the trees, but the group ended up venturing much further in than they'd intended. Without warning, a clown appeared in the distance, completely motionless, not even flinching, just fixing its gaze on them. Rattled, they decided to head back the way they came. Then, just as they thought they were in the clear, the clown suddenly broke into a full sprint straight toward them.
Ward them.
Terror took over as the whole group bolted, running at full speed.
Get away.
Fortunately, they all got away without a scratch. Not one of them ever set foot in those woods again. If you've ever thrown a leg over a motorcycle, there's a good chance you've heard whispers about the Dragon. Formerly designated as US Highway 129, this 11-mile corridor hugging the Tennessee-North Carolina border carves through the Great Smoky Mountains with more than 318 hairpin curves. It's widely regarded as one of the most exhilarating and treacherous stretches of road anywhere in the country. Thousands of riders make the pilgrimage each year just for the chance to tackle it. But beneath the thrill lies something darker. The unforgiving curves, sheer drop-offs, and brutal terrain have taken far more lives than most people are aware of. And on October 15th, 2016, the Dragon nearly added another name to that list. Kevin Diepenbrock was a 41-year-old motorcycle enthusiast out of Greenville, Texas. That autumn, Kevin and his friend and coworker, 29-year-old Philip Polito, had been spending their weekends out on the road together. Their trip to the Dragon was meant to be the last ride of the season. Kevin had made the run about 6 times previously. He knew what the road demanded, and he gave it the respect it deserved. That Saturday, around 10 in the morning, Kevin and Phil were heading southbound near mile marker 3.5 when Phil suddenly hit his brakes without any warning. Kevin had no time to respond. He collided with the back of Phil's bike, and the force of the impact sent both men tumbling roughly 105 feet down a sheer, rocky embankment, completely hidden from anyone passing on the road above. Phil Polito did not survive. Kevin, against all odds, was still breathing, but just barely. He quickly took stock of what the fall had done to him. 2 punctured lungs, 12 ribs broken in 17 separate places, 2 spinal fractures, and road rash across much of his body, and he was completely concealed from view. Motorcycles and cars streamed past constantly, hundreds over the course of the day, close enough that he could hear their engines. But no matter how hard he shouted, not a single person heard him back. There was no cell signal either. He tried reaching 911. Nothing connected. As the hours dragged on, Kevin began to come to terms with the possibility that he wasn't going to make it. So he took out his phone and began recording messages for the people he loved. The first video was shot in daylight, blood visible on his face, each word pushed out in short, strained bursts. He said it was around 10:30 that morning, and he'd been lying there from the very beginning.
That's all I can really say. About 10:30 this morning.
He told his family he loved them, apologized for doing something foolish, and went through the names one by one. His mom, his dad, his brothers, his friends.
Say I love you guys.
He made sure every single person heard it from him.
Stupid. But, you know, that's what I do. Mom, Dad, love you. Courtney, love you. Kirk and Marnie. Karen, Matt. Love you guys. Take care.
Then he walked through his injuries as well as he could piece together a broken sternum, ribs, possibly his back.
Maybe back.
He asked whoever found the footage to look after his dogs, calling each one by name. I love you guys.
Take care of the puppies for me too. Give Kimber and Ruger lots of love for me. And Rocco, Notch, and Kimber.
Then came words that felt unmistakably like a final farewell. He told them he'd see them soon. As darkness settled in, he kept the camera rolling. He noted it was now 7 o'clock and that he was trying to use his phone's flashlight to flag down passing vehicles.
7 o'clock. Got to use my flashlight to wave somebody down. I think I moved. I think I tried getting up. I think I passed out. Definitely punctured some lungs.
See you soon. His voice had grown noticeably weaker. He confirmed the punctured lungs, mentioned he could really use some water, and pointed out that the road sat just 50 feet above him, near enough to hear every vehicle, far too far to reach.
Love you guys. Man, I could use a drink of water. They're just like 50 feet away.
All right. He said goodbye to his wife, Courtney by name, then circled back to his mom and dad one more time.
Love you, Courtney. Love you, Mom, Dad. Hey, yeah. Take care.
Love you. The last recording came deep into the night. His battery was sitting at 10%.
I'm at 10% body, 10% battery. It's 11 o'clock. Man, I wish you would call Tennessee and tell them you got a husband out there that hasn't checked in since 10:30 in the morning. I love you. I don't know what to say.
He asked whoever discovered the phone to contact Tennessee and let them know there was a husband who hadn't been heard from since that morning. Then, barely above a whisper, he said goodnight, told his family he loved them, and wished them sweet dreams.
Hopefully, be able to sleep and catch a state trooper in the morning. Love you. Good night.
After that, the screen went black. Kevin lay at the bottom of that hillside through the entire night. By the following afternoon, close to 30 hours had passed, then something happened that Kevin would later describe as divine intervention. A woman riding the dragon asked her companion to pull over so she could grab a drink, a completely random stop, no particular reason for it. But the moment she stepped off the bike, she caught a voice drifting up from somewhere below, faint but real. The couple went back and found Joshua Johnson, a rider from Alabama who knew the area well. Johnson spotted Kevin down the embankment and didn't think twice. Still in full race gear, he descended the steep hillside to get to him. The Blount County Fire Department arrived with ropes and a crew of at least 6. When they finally reached Kevin, the first thing he wanted to know was whether Phil was okay. He had no idea his friend was already gone. Kevin was airlifted to the University of Tennessee Medical Center in critical condition, but he was alive. After nearly 30 hours, broken and alone at the foot of a mountain, Kevin Diepenbrock was alive. Johnson later came to visit him in the hospital. Kevin told him he had been a flicker of light in the middle of the darkness. 2 weeks later, Kevin was discharged and expected to recover fully. He and Courtney sat together in his hospital room and watched the goodbye videos for the very first time. That footage was eventually shared with the public and spread widely, not because it was polished or dramatic, but because it was completely, painfully real. A man lying shattered in the woods, saying goodbye to everyone he'd ever loved, with no way of knowing whether anyone would ever hear a single word. Johnny Hayes is the man behind Florida Boy Johnny, a channel that covers everything from RC racing to backcountry camping. His content tends to stay on the fun side of things, but a trip he took back in October 2021 would push that easygoing attitude to its absolute limit. What began as a straightforward camping outing with his girlfriend Danielle quickly escalated into a genuinely dangerous situation that ended with law enforcement involved. And honestly, things felt off right from the start. When Johnny and Danielle arrived at their intended parking spot, they found an old truck sitting right where they needed to pull in.
There we go.
There's somebody down here already.
Uh-oh.
That's kind of spooky.
It's spooky. What are we gonna do?
Well, he's parked exactly where we need to be. Of all places.
Dig.
Stumbling across a mystery vehicle in the middle of nowhere when you're expecting total isolation, that's exactly the kind of moment that makes you seriously reconsider the whole plan. Still, they push forward because a little friction is basically part of the camping experience, right? Well, this trip delivered a whole lot more than just a little friction.
We're currently trying to find the actual trailhead. Yeah, everything's overgrown. Everything is wet. You want to update us on what has happened within the first 20 minutes?
Well, the straw from Dad's camelback fell out, so he lost some water. Mine is on my hiking bag, and something punctured it. So then I lost half of my water.
And there's...
After roughly 2 miles of hacking through what Johnny lovingly describes as Spider City, they finally close in on the campsite. Johnny puts the camera down and starts getting things set up, and that's the moment this relaxing nature getaway takes a sharp and terrifying detour.
Can you hear me? We're heading back the other way! Grab your bag. We're trying to find the trail!
We're heading back the other direction. Hurry.
Oh, I'm trying. He's up over there.
So we just got shot at. We were, and I just stopped recording, but there is somebody deep in the woods that direction. Shot what sounded like a 22. Hit a tree about 2 feet away from us. And we were finding a spot to set up. We had just set our bags down. I set the camera down after I stopped recording, and a bullet, 22, whizzed right above our heads into the tree that we were standing next to. So I yelled out to him, whoever it was, got no response. Yelled out several more times.
We're not talking about a distant shot echoing through the trees from some hunter a half-mile away. This bullet struck the tree right beside them, barely 2 feet above their heads. That's the kind of margin that separates a frightening story from a devastating one. Now, some of you are probably thinking it had to be an accident, maybe a hunter who misjudged what they were looking at. But here's where that theory falls apart. Johnny had a bright orange backpack on. In the hunting world, orange is the universal signal for human presence. No one with real experience in the field confuses a person in orange for an animal. And on top of that, the shots were far too close and too precise to chalk up to carelessness. Johnny shouted out repeatedly toward wherever the shooter was, trying to announce himself, trying to make it absolutely clear that a living, breathing person was standing there who had no interest in being shot. He got one response back, but couldn't make out a single word of it. The quiet that came after that was probably more unsettling than another shot would have been. They called the police right away, and you can hear just how shaken Danielle sounds as she describes their situation.
My name's Danielle Hogan, but the person you'll be calling is Johnny Hayes. My boyfriend's wearing a black shirt and tan jeans, and I'm wearing a tan shirt and blue jeans right now. And then he has an orange backpack, and I've got a gray one. Back. She's having people come out here.
Like on foot or what?
I don't know. Oh, she said with us she's gonna have people come out here.
Whoever this was, they had to have known where we were the whole time. One of those shots landed right above our heads in the tree that we were standing by. And essentially, we're right here. The round hit about right here.
Officers told them they were simply too deep in the woods for anyone to reach them. They were going to have to find their own way out, retracing their steps through the same stretch of forest where someone had just fired in their direction. Every single step of that hike back must have felt like walking with a bullseye on them. Once they finally reached safety and connected with police in person, the officers put forward an explanation that somehow managed to be both comforting and deeply unsettling at the same time.
As far as like hunting season goes,
There's
a whole bunch of stuff that just opened up yesterday.
Yeah.
And this whole area, the whole trail area.
Yeah.
It's you can hunt on it.
Okay.
And stuff. I grew up in Pennsylvania. Our hunting season starts a lot earlier out there, and general rule of thumb is we don't really go into the woods after the 15th of September because that's when everything opens up, and you got to deal with the idiots, and you got to deal with the people from Jersey.
Yeah.
I'll go down. I'm gonna see if I can make contact with someone. I saw a blue truck down in one of the areas.
So what do you think actually went down out there? Was it some reckless hunter who somehow overlooked a bright orange pack and the sound of two people moving through the brush? Or does this feel like something more deliberate? Maybe somebody who had a strong opinion about strangers wandering through their territory. Drop your take in the comments below. And if you've got any camping trips lined up during hunting season, maybe don't rely on one orange backpack to keep you safe. Bring a way to make noise, announce yourself early and often, or honestly, just pick a weekend after the season wraps up. Meet Tom, an adventurer, former sailboat captain, and dedicated traveler who documents his most remarkable experiences for his YouTube channel, What in the World, where audiences can follow along on his extraordinary journeys. In this particular video, Tom is deep into a solo canoe expedition across Canada, pushing from the Rocky Mountains all the way to Montreal. Throughout the trip, he takes in stunning scenery, camps far out in the wild, and navigates the unavoidable challenges that come with an undertaking this massive. But nothing could have prepared him for what this specific day had in store. It's August 1st, 2024. The early morning light bathes the river in a warm golden hue as Tom glides through a serene stretch of wilderness, fully absorbing the quiet beauty around him. Everything feels right with the world, until a strange noise drifting from the riverbank shatters the calm.
Dog here. Doesn't look very well. Puppy. Maybe he's stuck. You okay? He doesn't look okay. Can't see anyone, there's no tracks. He's covered in mud. But I'm gonna see if I can do something. See if I can.
The moment Tom recognizes it as a dog crying out in distress, he doesn't hesitate. He has to get closer and see what he can do. The animal appears to have been stranded there for quite some time, visibly drained and barely managing a bark. Driven by the need to do something, Tom moves in carefully, praying he hasn't arrived too late.
You okay, buddy? Oh, buddy, how long you been here? Are you stuck? Are you stuck? Just log on you or something. Okay, the log's not on you anymore. You okay? What's wrong? Talk to me. You okay, buddy? Can we keep going? A bit more.
The dog had no strength left to move on its own, but Tom wasn't about to leave without her. He gently lifted the worn-out animal from the water and worked to get her settled into his canoe, committed to bringing her somewhere safe. His plan was to find a place to stop and, if possible, track down whoever owned her.
We're making progress. And then I'm gonna get you on the canoe, okay? You've probably never been on a canoe before, but it's the only way. Might be a little bit scary. That's okay. Lie down. And I was clean as well. It's okay.
Just shortly before stumbling upon the dog, Tom had paddled past a house sitting close to the river's edge. Holding on to that detail, he turned the canoe around and headed back, refusing to give up on getting the exhausted animal into proper care. He wasn't stopping until she was somewhere safe.
Barking while I was coming past, but it didn't know that I was there, and it was barking in such a way that it had lost its voice. So he or she had been barking for a long time and can't bark anymore. So there's a dock here in front of me, and there's a house just up from it. So, and this is only about 200 meters from where the dog was stuck. So I hope this is your home. Okay, buddy, you ready? You ready to come on the dock? Come on, up. Good dog. Good dog. Hello? Hello?
Tom made it to the nearest house, and after tying off his canoe and carefully getting the dog up onto the dock, all he could do was hope somebody was home, and that this might actually be where she belonged.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm just canoeing. I'm canoeing across Canada.
Oh yeah.
And I was just canoeing past and I saw a dog that's been stuck in the mud.
Oh no. Is it live still?
Yeah, I was wondering, is it your dog?
Yeah, probably a white one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like he's been there a long
time.
It looks like he's been there a long time.
Where is she?
I dragged him out of the, I don't know if it's a girl, is it a girl? I dragged her out of the mud and put her on my canoe, and I brought her here on your dock.
Thanks, because I've been looking for her and I looked down there too.
She's a nice dog. I was worried at the beginning.
She's 14 years old.
Oh, she can't move her back legs very well. I don't know if that was normal.
No.
But I had to move a log from that was on the back of her. She was in the water, half in the water, half on the mud.
Jeez.
And
I've looked all over for her. She's been gone 2 days.
It looks like she's been there a while.
Is she you know?
The man had in fact been out searching for his dog and wasted no time rushing down to the water with Tom. His expression was torn between overwhelming relief and deep worry. His cherished companion was already well into her old age and had been unaccounted for more than 2 days. He'd been bracing for the worst, but was profoundly thankful she'd been found while there was still time.
She was a few hundred.
She's down there.
A few hundred meters up there, and your dock was just the next. Your dock was the next one, so that's why I just came straight here.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh. Well, better give her a bath, eh? What were you doing going in there, you silly old dog? Only you're lucky he came along. I've been looking all over for you, but she wasn't barking or nothing. Well, she's been missing for a couple of days. Better get some water and wash you off.
I saw a dog bowl on the side of the house. Shall I get that?
Sure. You want some water? That's probably the last thing
You
you
never
want,
know.
eh?
Yeah, just in case.
Get some warm water. Dump it in here so I can just put it on her.
Are you getting all cleaned up? All that mud? Yeah.
Ball, it's gonna take a while.
Probably not gonna like the sound of this.
The state it was in, I feel like it wouldn't have lasted another day. So I'm really happy to find it like that and bring it back to its owners. It just, yeah, it wouldn't be a nice way to go. The dog was up here about 200 meters behind all these trees. There's no access. So yeah, there's no way.
Without a moment's delay, the two of them worked together to carry her inside, focused on getting her warm, fed, and checked over for any injuries. The owners could hardly wrap their heads around the fact that she had made it, and their gratitude toward Tom was boundless. They kept thanking him, saying it felt like nothing less than a miracle. The 14-year-old Pyrenees, though still frail and worn out, seemed to exhale with relief at being home again. Tom stuck around to help get her cleaned up, carefully drying her coat and making sure she was settled comfortably. Watching her curl up in her favorite spot and finally rest gave him a quiet but profound sense of satisfaction. The family, moved deeply by what he had done, insisted he join them for lunch and offered him a bed for the night so he could head out the next morning fully recharged. That evening, Tom soaked in the warmth of their company, swapping stories over a generous home-cooked meal. By the time he launched his canoe again the following day, the dog was already on the mend, wrapped in the love of her family once more. Tom hadn't just rescued an animal, he had walked away with an experience that would stay with him for the rest of his life. A quiet reminder of the unexpected bonds and unforgettable moments that a life lived adventurously can bring. On April 5th, 2019, a YouTuber going by the name Jason posted a video to his channel, Happy Mountain Trekkers, a small peaceful pocket of the internet built around hiking, camping, and the quiet solitude of mountain life. His content had nothing to do with thrills or close calls. It was about stillness, the kind of raw, unfiltered connection with nature that only comes to those willing to head out there alone. This particular upload followed Jason on a solo overnight excursion deep into the mountains. The ascent was relaxed, unhurried, and completely unremarkable. The sort of hike where the wilderness itself becomes your only companion. As the light began to fade, Jason arrived at his chosen spot, laid out his gear, and got to work making camp for the night. He walked his audience through each step with the ease of someone who'd done it 100 times, getting the tent up, hunting for dry wood, and nursing a small campfire into life. While he waited for full darkness to set in, he turned to one of his go-to pastimes, spoon carving. A modest, unhurried task that kept his hands occupied and his thoughts quiet. That was when he first caught it, a faint, unfamiliar sound drifting down from somewhere further up the mountain. It wasn't particularly loud, and it wasn't nearby, just a distant call that didn't quite belong.
To do this, but never quite got around to it, and I'm just gonna be tickled pink if I can turn that into a spoon. She's starting to resemble a spoon, although a rather big one, probably made for a giant. Not too bad for my first one so far. I'm gonna try and work this down as flat as I can. Keep hearing the strange noise up on the top of the mountain. I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like some kind of, almost sounds like a bird, but it doesn't.
He stopped, tilted his head, listened for a moment, then let it go. A bird, maybe, or a fox. Nothing worth dwelling on. As night fully settled in, he carried on with the last bits of camp prep, organizing his supplies, stoking the fire, and checking the tension on his tent lines. Eventually, the forest quieted down completely, broken only by the occasional snap and pop from the flames. Around 9 in the evening, Jason switched off his camera, sipped himself inside his tent, and settled in for sleep. For a stretch, everything was fine, but less than an hour later, something yanked him awake. A noise. He described it as a deep, guttural animal call, distant but wrong enough to send a jolt of adrenaline straight through him.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. And I know this might sound sensational or something that, I'm not bullshitting. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side, and it goes up to a higher ridge on its backside, and it sounded like it come from over there. But it was like 4 calls, almost like a communication call of some kind. They were back to back, and then there was a pause, and then I heard 2 more. It scared the absolute out of me.
He eventually lay back down and tried to let sleep take him again, but the night had other plans. A few hours later, somewhere around 1 in the morning, he woke up again, and this time the sound wasn't far away. It was right there. Jason described hearing something, or someone, moving slowly around the outside of his tent. Soft footsteps pressing into the pine needles, deliberate and unhurried. He lay completely still, barely breathing, just listening. The camera was off. There was nothing he could do but wait it out. After several long minutes, whatever it was moved on, and somehow, remarkably, he managed to drift back off.
About 1 o'clock, I woke up again. I heard something circle my camp. Whatever it is, it's close. Hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
In his morning footage, Jason admitted he'd spent the remainder of the night in a state of restless half-sleep, every tiny sound feeling enormous in the dark. He mentioned catching the faint noise of a car passing on a distant road, sometime after midnight, a small reminder that the rest of the world still existed, even if it felt impossibly far away. He never turned up any tracks or evidence around the tent the next morning. No signs of wildlife, no explanation for what had circled him in the night. And after uploading that video, Jason never posted a follow-up, never offered a theory, never said another word about it. Sometimes the thing that gets under your skin out in the wild isn't something you see, it's something that grazes the edge of your senses just long enough to make you realize that no matter how alone you think you are out there, you probably aren't. Channel Psychosocial typically revolves around relaxed fishing trips, IRL streaming, and candid everyday moments. But during one outing near New Braunfels, Texas, a calm day out on the kayak spiraled into something deeply unsettling, something so alarming that the creator felt compelled to drop everything, grab his camera, and dial emergency services. It started out the way these trips usually do. He'd pushed off onto the river for a leisurely afternoon of fishing, drifting through the water and soaking in the evening atmosphere. Then, as he drew closer to the underside of a bridge, something pierced through the ambient sounds of the outdoors, something that stopped him cold and changed the entire tone of the day.
Those birds freaked out. What the hell is that noise? I'm going over there. I don't know if the stream is working or not yet, but I need to hear whatever the hell is happening over there. Hey, do y'all hear that screaming? Is that something I should be, like, worried about? I think my day is about to be ruined. Ugh.
Screaming, loud, frenzied, and coming from right beneath that bridge. His first reaction was disbelief, which almost immediately gave way to genuine alarm. He started shouting toward the source, asking whether anyone was in need of assistance. A few other people in the area, some of them positioned under the bridge itself, clearly registered the noise but showed no interest in stepping in. That's the moment he decided to take action. If someone was screaming with that kind of desperation, something had to be seriously wrong. But here's what made it even stranger. The second he called out, the screaming cut off completely. Just like that, silence. Whether that meant a victim had been forcibly quieted, or whoever was responsible had suddenly realized they'd been noticed. That instant cutoff haunted him. He turned it over in his mind. Was this a mental health crisis, someone in physical agony, or something far darker? He eventually reached emergency services and walked them through everything he'd witnessed in as much detail as he could manage. Once he hung up, he hauled himself out of the kayak and scaled the embankment to see what he could find. What greeted him was unsettling, though it offered no real answers.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone up here? You see anyone? No?
There were clear signs that someone had been sheltering there, belongings strewn around what looked like a crude makeshift camp, but the place was completely empty. No one responded when he called out again. No evidence of a struggle, no trace whatsoever of whoever had let out those gut-wrenching screams just moments earlier. The whole thing left him sitting with more questions than he started with. Was it someone in the grip of a mental health episode? A person being attacked and silenced right before anyone could intervene? The thought that something violent could have unfolded just beyond his line of sight is genuinely chilling. And that timing, the screaming shutting off the instant it was acknowledged, felt far too deliberate to brush off. Some have suggested the sound may have traveled from a nearby tunnel, but the creator is firm on this point. What he heard was coming from under that bridge, not from any tunnel. Everyone present at the time agreed. The recording alone might not convey it, but standing there in that moment, there was no doubt in his mind about the source. As of now, no missing persons have been linked to that area, no official follow-up has surfaced, and somehow that absence of any resolution might be the most disturbing part of the whole story. A stretch of canal at midnight isn't somewhere most people give a second thought. Just still water, towpaths, and maybe a stray duck or two. But once darkness settles in and you're bedding down in a tent that isn't yours, those calm waters start to feel a whole lot heavier. Here's how it all unfolded. Tonight's third video comes from a creator called Urban Rats, a guy who goes by the Rat and makes a habit of sleeping in spots most people stroll right past without a glance. This particular night, he's in Barrie, UK, scoping out an abandoned tent that someone left near a canal bridge. Most folks would clock that tent and carry on. He clocks it and pitches up beside it.
Back to the channel. I'm Paul, you're watching the Urban Rats, and tonight we're going to be camping in an abandoned tent. Yeah, that's right, an abandoned tent, what somebody's actually left at the side of the canal. If you can look further down and see the next bridge down, I went on there the other day, and that's when I happened to notice the tent sat there all on its own. So let's have a walk down and see if it's still there. This is the way that went up. Yeah, I went up this way.
See what he walked into. Right in the middle of eating, he realizes he has an audience. 2 young deer, barely 6 feet away on the other side of the fence, staring at him like he's the intruder. He gets to his feet, they vanish, nature's version of a security check.
To be a bit careful around here tonight, being at the canal, because apparently Manchester has or had the canal pusher, and loads of people were found in the canal unalived. So yeah, you never know. In fact, just here, not so long ago, some guy has come out of the pubs or whatever in Bury. He's come all the way down the canal, and he's got down to that bridge where we would come on, and never made it off the canal. So yeah, they reckon Manchester in the UK has the highest number of deaths in the canal systems. So yeah.
And he didn't pass. As night closes in, the atmosphere changes. Paul starts talking about the Manchester Canal Pusher, the legend, the mysterious drownings, the type of people who haunt these towpaths once the sun's gone. He zips the tent shut from inside and lies there listening for footsteps that don't quite fit the profile of a late-night dog walker.
And I've just been woke up by police helicopter. I'll see if I can see it for you, look. I just can hear it. It's just there. No consideration for campers, that, isn't it, eh? It's been out for about 10 minutes. Look, he's basically here, just like, we're camping here, and there's the helicopter. Yeah, I've never known them use the light for years. Like, it's normally all infrared, isn't it? But you can see there. I don't know if you can what you can see on here, but I can see that helicopter over there has got a big beam of light coming down onto the ground over there. Over there, blues and twos, guys. Can see blues and twos going up towards Elton Reservoir from this side. Can you see? No way, blues and twos over at Elton Reservoir. This is like all rough ground as well. So what they must have done is they've come up the main road, they've come off, and that's where it's heading towards. Bloody hell. Yeah, whoever's on run, guys, is very close to where we're camping tonight.
Then for about 20 minutes, a police helicopter sweeps overhead, its searchlight combing the fields. Somewhere out in the dark, someone is moving on foot through ditches and along railway lines, cutting right past his campsite, close enough that he can hear the pitch of the rotors shift, close enough that the empty tent sitting next door stops feeling like a curiosity and starts feeling like somewhere a person might actually be hiding. Paul wakes at 6:10 a.m., makes coffee, breaks down his gear, and leaves the abandoned tent where he found it, with a mental note to return later that week and clear it out if no one's claimed it. A small, quiet act of decency at the end of a night that was anything but quiet. YouTuber Dan's van life was hitting the road again in May 2023, following 6 months of shoulder surgery recovery in Iowa. His first day back had him rolling through Iowa and into Nebraska.
Van projects, my shoulder, the van, and I are very much ready to hit the road, but not quite yet. Anxious and excited about the journey to come today, I still have to finish my final steps of cleaning my water tank. About 24 hours ago, I put bleach in my tank, and while waiting for that tank to drain, I finished packing.
By the time evening rolled around, exhaustion was catching up with him. He'd been awake since 4 in the morning. He eventually tracked down a campsite just off the highway, tucked near a pond with some trails nearby.
Nebraska seems to drag on forever and ever when you're driving through that state lengthwise. And after waking up early that morning and getting everything finished up on the van before hitting the road, I was getting tired and the sun was starting to set. I saw a camping spot on iOverlander that was just barely off the highway, and it looked like it was really near a cool pond with some trails all around it. After a full day of driving through the flatlands from Iowa into Nebraska, we were both ready to pull over and call the night. I wanted to eat my leftover Mexican food, and Cassie still hasn't eaten, and it was like 7 p.m. and she had been getting pretty antsy about getting supper fed. So it seemed like it was going to be a good idea to stop for the night and take a rest. Stay. Cassie, stay. Come here. Let's turn the lights on it. Alright, go potty. I swear I just saw a set of eyes over there. I swear I just saw a reflection. Oh man. Okay. We're not gonna get spooked. We're not gonna get spooked. We just got landed at our spot for the night.
But later that night, as he lay there trying to drift off, something broke the silence behind the van. A noise that had no business being there. Something moving right outside the back door.
I decide to try to go to sleep with a tick-filled bed, and as I'm rolling around in the bed bugs trying to fall asleep, I finally start to doze off and I hear something strange behind the van. What's going on, bud? So I just woke up to the noise of something rutting around outside the van. I don't know if it was somebody fucking with the back door handle or if it was just somebody bumping against the van.
but we were parked somewhere that there should be no one near the van. And then I heard a loud belch. I got up and grabbed my safety device, and I haven't heard anything since.
And that's when I realized somebody's trying to break into the van. I can hear somebody tugging on the door handle, and I am out in the middle of nowhere. And by this point in the day, I'm just irritated that my night's sleep is now going to be completely ruined, not only by the bed bugs and ticks, but by some Jimmy trying to break into the van. Normal person probably would have got up and drove to a new parking spot at that time, but I just truly had not one fuck left.
The reality of living on the road isn't always sweeping mountain vistas and a sense of total freedom. Sometimes it throws unexpected situations at you that push your limits in ways you never quite anticipated. Graveyard after dark doesn't seem like anything worth losing sleep over. Just headstones. Just silence. Just open ground. But the moment the sun disappears and you're crouched in the undergrowth, dodging security rounds, those grave markers start carrying a very different energy. Tonight's second video comes from Being Outdoors, a UK-based channel that mixes stealth camping with paranormal investigation. The creator spends his nights alone in historically loaded, allegedly haunted locations throughout Britain. Derelict buildings, dense woodland, and yes, burial grounds. The catch? He's constantly evading security guards, police officers, and curious locals while attempting to probe the supernatural in complete darkness. Most rational people would glance at a historic cemetery and carry on walking. This guy pitches a tent. Let's get into it. It's June 14th, 2026. Stratton Grange Cemetery, Hartlepool, England.
I'm just going to wait until it starts getting dark to set my tent up because there's people walking dogs. It's very, very busy still. I mean, what time is it? It's 8:30. I thought it'd be quiet. I came down late on purpose as well. But once I get all set up, it starts getting dark. I'm going to have a little mooch around. We're going to do some ghost hunting. I'm going to have a...
Security patrols successfully avoided. Dog walkers patiently waited out. He's tucked deep into the cemetery vegetation, holding his position until full darkness before setting up camp. He's there to put the legend of Hartlepool's Grey Lady to the test. And even before anything happens, the self-doubt is already creeping in.
Hello? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God. During the process of recording this video, I had my screen brightness on minimum, just in case there was anyone else in the cemetery and I didn't want it to see my phone screen. It was only upon editing the video I actually see.
Then his cameras begin picking up things his own eyes are missing. Phone brightness dropped to virtually nothing to stay hidden from patrols. He's recording frantic audio alongside visual distortions clustering around the headstones. What's that doing? Oh my God, no. He can feel that something is off, but can't pin down exactly what in the moment. Later, during editing, he discovers what he completely overlooked: several faint figures standing directly above the graves.
I shouldn't have done this camp. Hello? Hello? I know for a fact someone's out near them. Hello? Hello? My God. Hello? 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 Oh, no, I'm going.
The experience reaches its breaking point. He's completely paralyzed inside the tent, certain that something is hovering just outside in the blackness. A full psychological breakdown, the same words cycling over and over. I shouldn't have done this camp. I shouldn't have done this camp. Packing up in the middle of the night isn't an option. Too dangerous, too dark, too overwhelming. He sits upright with every single light blazing until 2 in the morning. Eventually daylight comes, he crashes from sheer exhaustion, wakes up, bundles everything away, and gets out immediately. Describes it as one of the most harrowing nights he's ever endured. Personally, I would have been long gone the moment that first unexplained sound hit. Mark Wilkins, a cherished YouTuber behind the channel Northeast Georgia Kayak Fishing, had built a reputation online as someone who embodied calm and exploration. For more than 6 years, his audience had followed along on tranquil excursions across rivers and lakes, watching him document the wonders of the natural world and the quiet craft of fishing from his kayak. For Mark, it was never just about catching fish. It was about stepping away from the noise of everyday life, reconnecting with the outdoors, and finding stillness and solitude. But on December 13th, 2024, what began as an ordinary day out on the water spiraled into something that would leave a permanent mark on him. It was a misty yet striking morning. A thin layer of fog draped over Lake Emery and the surrounding Little Tennessee River area. The air carried a sharp chill, the kind that makes each breath feel clean and alive, while the water stretched out flat and mirror-like beneath a pewter sky. Mark, true to his adventurous spirit, had brought along his old friend John for the outing. The two loaded up their kayaks, packed their gear, and strapped GoPros to their chests, ready to document what they expected to be a laid-back day. These were familiar waters for both of them, and that familiarity only deepened the sense of ease. For the first couple of hours, it was everything they'd hoped for. Lines were cast, stories were traded, and the current carried them lazily through the river's winding curves. Then came the moment that stopped everything cold. Within minutes...
Copy that.
Say again?
Copy. I think we got a dead body here. Yep, we do. A dead body. Oh my god, a dead body. I found a dead body. Dead body. Oh my god, a dead body. I gotta call the police. It's right there. God, a dead body. Call 911. I don't want to sit here and poke at it. 911. I am fishing on Lake Emery and I have come across a dead body.
Where out on Lake Emery?
I am putting at the boat ramp and I was going down towards the discharge, the water station discharge, and I'm kind of in between the discharge and the boat ramp, heading down towards the dam.
Okay, are you in the water?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. I mean, it could, I mean, it looks like a dead body. I mean, there's a hand sticking up. There's a rotted face. I don't know if it's some kind of stupid Halloween spooky thing, but I'm not touching it. So.
Okay, what was your name, sir?
My name is Mark Wilkins. It looks like it's been here for
5051 or 5005, your phone number?
Yes, sir. John, go up there and look at that and tell me what you think. No, you can see his face. I mean, I thought it was like some kind of yard decoration or something, but I don't know, dude. That looks pretty dead to me.
That looks like a person.
Yeah, like it's been here for a minute. Oh my God, dear Lord, please rest that person's soul. Oh. I mean, I saw that hand sticking up and I was just like, is that some kind of Halloween, like, spooky yard thing that ended up in here? Because it is small. Yeah, it is. But I looked at the face, dude. It's definitely a person. Hey, and there's shoes at the boat ramp, dude. There's just a pair of, like, little Crocs, not like a girl-sized Crocs just sitting there at the boat ramp. Weird.
What's there's a report of a girl missing?
Yeah, it was like a young, it's hard to tell by that face. It was like a young girl, but there's no way that would decay in that fast. I mean, I don't know how long they said she was missing in that little thing, but.
Yeah, this looks like it's been there a minute.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you. I'll call you if I need it.
Okay. All right. Hey, don't forget to check that boat ramp, dude. Those little pairs of shoes. That's.
We got somebody.
Oh.
Law enforcement arrived and confirmed the devastating suspicion Mark and John had already formed. It was a young girl, her life cut tragically short, and a pair of shoes discovered further along the riverbank appeared to belong to her. But her identity, the circumstances of her death, and what had led her there all remained unanswered questions. Officers secured the area, transforming what had been a peaceful stretch of water into an active crime scene. Mark and John, rattled but composed, remained on site to give their accounts to police. Shortly after, Mark posted the footage to his YouTube channel. His followers responded in droves, filling the comments with words of comfort mourning for the young girl and expressing admiration for the two men's composure. In the weeks that came after, stepping back onto the water wasn't easy for Mark. The place that had once been his sanctuary had taken on a darker feeling, and that shift showed in his content. He kept making videos, kept sharing his time outdoors, but something had changed. There was a quiet heaviness behind his expressions, a subtle weight carried in the way he spoke. For everyone who watched that footage, it stood as a sobering reminder that nature, for all its breathtaking beauty, can conceal things we never expect to find. And for Mark, it became a defining moment, one that reshaped him, weaving his love of the outdoors together with a deeper resolve to hold every moment close and never take a single one for granted. Back in February of 2023, a YouTuber who goes by Under the Weather made camp at a location known as the Devil's Wood, setting up his tent on a thin stretch of level ground wedged between a river and a steep, muddy slope. The only viable spot he could find as the last of the daylight faded. He got a fire burning, whipped up a sausage casserole, and settled in expecting a peaceful evening. Then the dark came down, and it came down hard, an absolute blackness pressing right up against the edge of his firelight.
It is here. This is like crazy. Like outside my little circle, it's just pitch black. And as I said, I picked the stupidest spot, or bravest spot possible, because we've got the river on that side, river there, dangerous hill there. Let's turn you around. So literally muddy, slidey hill, and literally camping on the river.
He was talking about the way camping near water messes with your head, how the sound of stones tumbling in the current can mimic the rhythm of approaching footsteps, how your own mind convinces you that something is closing in.
And also, it's when you're camping right next to a river, stream, whatever it is, you'll hear rocks going through the night, and your brain will tell you, that's someone coming to get you, but it's literally rocks just kind of being pushed down by the wind.
That's the moment it happened. Something moving out there in the black, close enough to cut him off mid-sentence.
Turn this. I think I just turn this. Hello, is there? Anybody there? Hello? 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 Ah! Oof. What's that? Right. I'm gonna go have a look.
He called out toward the darkness. Nothing came back, just dead silence, then the movement again. When he finally worked up the courage to look, there was a shape among the trees, something that he was certain had not been there before.
Look at that thing, whatever that was. God save me. Right, let's see if we can get across the river without falling in. Oh God.
He waded across the river to get a closer look, pulse hammering, torchlight slicing through the pitch black, and whatever it was simply stood there motionless. He didn't hang around long enough to get answers. He retreated to his tent, sealed himself inside, and refused to emerge until daylight returned. So what exactly was lurking in the Devil's Wood that night, and how long had it already been watching him before he ever noticed? A family visiting a friend's place deep in the woods ended up capturing this footage. Noticing something suspicious lingering near the back of a shed, one of the women grabbed her camera and moved in for a closer look. That's the moment it all changed.
God, nobody is gonna ever believe this. Shit.
A pale, expressionless face, just staring straight back at her. But here's the thing. Her reaction doesn't quite add up. She's way too composed. What's her take? Tyson had thrown together a shelter purely for the fun of it. A Viking-style dugout carved into the forest floor, part of an ongoing YouTube series blending bushcraft, outdoor adventure, and self-sufficiency. It was a passion project, nothing more, until May 21st, 2022 changed everything. That afternoon, he brought his younger brother and a friend along to help collect rocks. He was working on a chimney, the sun was shining, the forest was quiet. What he didn't know was that a derecho, a rare massive superstorm, was already ripping across Ontario, leveling trees and claiming lives as it went. He pulled out his phone casually, just to swap out the GoPro batteries, when a government emergency alert lit up the screen. Severe thunderstorm. Seek shelter immediately. That's when he looked up. The sky had turned pitch black. There was no window to escape. All three of them threw themselves inside and braced the frame as a wall of wind screamed over the treetops. Trees cracked apart, soil tore from the ground, and any sound they made was swallowed whole by the storm. For several agonizing minutes, those woods turned into something like a battlefield. Then, nothing. They stepped outside into a scene of total destruction, trunks down across every trail, debris scattered throughout the camp. But the shelter had survived. Somehow a structure built for a YouTube series had become the thing standing between them and death. Afterward, Tyson admitted he almost didn't post the footage, not because it felt too intense, but because he struggled to put into words what it's actually like to watch a force of nature try to wipe you out. Knowing the only reason you're still breathing was a stroke of luck and a split-second decision made with maybe 30 seconds to spare. The fourth clip of the evening comes from Oreo Speedwagon R/T, a van life channel operated by Tommy Maloney, his partner Rachel, and their dog Badger. The channel follows their camping adventures throughout the United States. Usually it's meal prep footage and beautiful landscapes. Sometimes it's something else entirely. April 21st, 2022, somewhere in southern Oklahoma.
The howls. We're at roughly the same place that we heard something howling before, where somebody tried to get in the van. Storm coming in. Yeah. We're sitting here just having a conversation, and something back over that way is howling.
Yeah.
There are no dogs that way. And it's not a dog barking, it's a loud howl. I don't hear it now. Yeah. But there was a howl. There was a loud, long, a few of them drawn out. Yeah. Like roaring. Same thing I heard before. Same exact thing I heard before.
The two are sitting inside the van, chatting when a massive low rumbling howl tears through the darkness beyond the tree line. Tommy goes still. He knows that sound. They happen to be in roughly the same stretch of wilderness where something once tried to force its way into their vehicle. The long drawn-out bellowing is a dead match for that previous encounter. Deep, thunderous, and completely inconsistent with any animal he's ever known to inhabit Oklahoma.
Are you okay? Do you want back in? Here, get in. Get in. Get in the van. I was gonna do a camping cook for y'all tonight. Gonna make this a... That is howling. What is that? I don't like it. No, no, no. I don't like that.
I don't know what that is.
Because that one's louder.
Yep. There it goes.
Nope. I don't know what that is. That is enough. That's enough to make me leave. That is enough to make me go somewhere else.
Then it hits them. This isn't a single creature. Enormous vocalizations begin rolling in from entirely opposite directions at once. One from somewhere ahead and to the right of the van, another rising out of the dense brush directly behind them. They're surrounded. Multiple unknown sources filling the night from different positions at the same time. Whatever is out there, it's working together. The woods fall silent around 11 p.m., leaving nothing but crickets and the patter of rain as a storm moves in. Rachel drifts off to get some rest, while Tommy sits awake, turning the whole thing over in his mind. Whatever was lurking in those Oklahoma woods, it wasn't local wildlife, and he's certain of that. Still, he refuses to walk away for good, wrapping up the vlog with a promise to return and get some real answers. Late one night in 2022, a group of TikTok users found themselves driving through a deserted stretch of Belmont, Michigan, when something stopped them cold. A girl crawling on all fours at the edge of the road. There wasn't a single light source around, just total darkness.
No, hell no.
What the f?
They were soaked.
The girl was completely drenched. She appeared to have come out of the water as if she'd somehow emerged from the nearby river. The person behind the wheel kept driving, but they filmed the whole encounter and reported it to authorities afterward. It was later confirmed that the girl had been listed as a missing person, with no explanation for how she'd ended up out there. What started as an ordinary late-night drive turned into something nobody could make sense of.
She had to have come up out of the water. Yup, there's a dig spot there. So she came up from down there. That's